I'm going to show you the wrong way to do a burn test. On its own, a thicker paper will always burn slower and a thinner paper will burn faster, all other things being equal. Just like in a campfire, a big old chunk of wood like this is going to burn slower than a thin piece of wood. But that all changes once you wrap it around material. It's called the inverted burn theory, and it's why we love these super thin papers that allow you to truly taste your terps. I'm going to drop some knowledge on you and bring you to Wiz Khalifa level. Here we go. Now, this is just a basic explanation in layman's terms. Some of it's going to be wrong, so don't sue me, although you might try. Okay, so the thinner paper actually burns faster on its own, like I showed you, where the thicker paper burns slower on its own. However, once we wrap it around material, the opposite happens. The thin paper, this thin paper, has a lot less stored energy in it, so it has less energy to send into your material. Therefore, the thin one ends up burning slower, whereas the thick one, that shit has a whole bunch of stored energy in it, and it's going to send it all into your material and char grill that shit. This is all based on all other things being equal. And because it's like this, that's why we call it the inverted burn theory, man. And you might say, hey Josh, why don't you make it even thinner paper for me then? Ha, there is a limit to that, and we pretty much reached it. As the paper gets thinner and thinner, the fibers spread out, and you end up with more of these little micro holes that dilute your smoke. Let me explain to you what I mean. We call this smoke dilution. These holes, more and more of them, you end up getting a weaker and weaker hit. Like, you ever smoked one where there was a hole in it, like a little tear or something, and you notice it and you're hitting it? That's what happens as the paper gets thinner. So there's a thing about getting too thin. You don't want it too thin, and you don't want it too thick. It's got to be perfect. There is an art to this, man. And now you know more about rolling paper than almost anyone else. Congratulations, and smoke the fuck out.